Welcome to Yestergays, the podcast where we break down historic pop culture moments that excited the queers of yesteryear.
The things that got us riled up during dial-up.
The makeouts that should have been breakouts.
The drops that were cemented in pop.
And give them the gay love they deserve.
We are your hosts, Justin Sylvester and Blakely Thornton, and shit's about to get real, so hide your kids and hide your wife, because this will be the last you hear. Class is in session, enter school bell, and the episode is brought to you by... because I would like one for free.
Welcome back, you guys. It is week 2 of this podcast. If you were here week 1, you know that shit kind of went off the rails.
Which, I mean, it's called gay nonsense.
But by the way, we are gaotic.
Yeah, gaotic. It's gaotic.
It's really gaotic.
It's like UP and Britney Spears show without Kevin Federline.
Bitch. I can't wait to get to that one day.
Also being Bobby Brown. That's not for today, but in the future, we will be talking about both those things.
By the way, I will need a lawyer in here before I talk about being Bobby Brown. Because I know I'm going to get sued with the shit I have to say about that show.
Everyone involved is dead.
It's the why, but Bobby, except Bobby.
Bobby ain't got budget to sue us.
Bobby, that was brutal. And I love Bobby Brown.
Me too.
You guys, as we said, if you were not here for week 1, here's what we're going to try to do. We, on each episode, scour the internet and break down moments that occurred in this week in pop culture history that had us gag. I'm talking about moments in TV, film, music, pop culture, tabloid, whatever it is. If it happened, we want to talk about it.
Bus, another club.
Yes.
Another club, another club.
Another club.
Another bus.
What happens here is, again, we are chaotic and we are out of control. But before we get into today, I have to talk to you about something because I saw a meme that made me feel really old.
Please tell me.
It was that meme about Kurt Loder turning 80.
See, I don't acknowledge that.
Acknowledge it.
Kurt Loder is the white Morgan Freeman, though, and that he has been approximately 59 for 100 years, for a century.
1,000. But I thought I met him at 80.
No, I mean, I think Kurt Loder was... wait. Was Kurt Loder born before, like, World War I?
I think Kurt Loder, yes, served in Vietnam and came back and was on MTV.
Jesus. Yeah, because remember the do MTV News?
Yes.
MTV News had more credibility than modern-day CNN.
Oh, 1,000%. Also, you remember TV One in the mornings?
Kurt Loder?
No, you remember TV One
yes.
too? Yeah, that too had a lot of had a lot of legitimacy to me.
That was a very like 1997 to 05 time.
Yeah.
When like UPN was still black era.
It was pretty wild.
It was. Homeboys in Outer Space.
Yeah. I also feel like Kurt Loder was like the guy that everybody didn't mind talking to.
100%.
Like if you were in entertainment news, like Kurt Loder was the guy.
Because he was the guy that like clearly had a degree from like, I don't know, insert journalism school here. And they were like, he's going to ask poignant, interesting questions, like pre-internet era expertise level questions.
Yeah. He went to Dartmouth. Like
really?
He was too big. No, I'm just saying. Like that's what it felt like. Like you went to Dartmouth.
He does feel like a Dartmouth guy.
Yeah, and he'll pull it out at any moment. Like
100%.
I went to Dartmouth. I'm not asking Lil' Kim about her titty out. You know what I mean?
Well, do you remember the Kurt Loder interview after the 1999 VMAs when Madonna wore that green Versace shirt and Courtney Love threw her compact because she was up?
Do I remember?
That is burned into my brain. Like, granted, I was 9, but I could almost like recite that from memory.
Do I remember? I'm still trying to figure out how Courtney Love got up those stairs.
The 90s were amazing.
Oh, they were phenomenal.
She threw her shit in the interview, and then Kurt Loder said, "Come on up, Courtney." And you saw Madonna be like, "You?" That was the one time I thought somebody might pop Kurt Loder.
Oh, 100. No. I thought it was... by the way, if Madonna was black at that moment, he would have slapped the shit out of her. If that was Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, that is like the equivalent of what Madonna and Courtney Love were back then. They hated each other.
But then it kind of... I remember Madonna, they were like, "Oh, yeah, this is Hollywood. Everybody can get... everything's available to you." And Madonna goes, "And a lot of available drugs." Yeah. Basically, like, said on camera, like, this bitch is high.
And she was.
And she was. Like, Courtney is like the Babadook. She will survive.
She will survive. She and Bobby Brown.
They should get married.
They should get married.
Their offspring would be the Antichrist.
By the way, can we just talk about when Courtney Love got that glow up?
Celebrity Skin 99.
And she got that bob.
Mm-hmm.
And came...
That little bob.
The original little Bob.
Yes.
She got some cash. She went to Betty Ford. Somebody was styling her. She did a W magazine shoot. She did that random movie with Charlize Theron and Stuart Townsend where they like kidnap somebody.
Oh, she was also in the People versus Larry Flint when Woody Harrelson played Larry Flint. And then like I think the Golden Globes press tour for that in like 97, 98 was the first like, I'm an actress. I can wear a dress. I'm not a mess. But then she went back.
She went back.
Like the Osbournes era, it was back to cocaine.
Back to cocaine.
Which is a hell of a drug.
By the way, hell of a drug. You guys, let's get into some crazy things that happened this week in pop culture. The birth of the ultra celebrity couple actually happened this week in pop culture history. The first week of June 2002, Jennifer Lopez files for divorce from husband Chris Judd. Soon after that, Bennifer, which is Jen and Ben 1.0, makes major headlines as reports emerge that the two fell in love while filming Geely earlier that year. She and Affleck went public with their relationship soon after the divorce news. By November of that year, the Bronx native would be sporting a 6.1 carat pink diamond from Harry Winston. The Rock, $2.5 million. Heading into 2003, Lopez and Affleck were one of the most popular Hollywood couples to appear in the tabloids and were infamously hounded by the paparazzi. Listen,
I love them.
This was the birth of the celebrity.
This is pre-Brangelina.
This is pre-Brangelina.
Like Bennifer walked so Brangelina could run. Granted, both tripped, fell, and died, but like, you know what I mean? Somebody had to be FloJo. They were the FloJo of celebrity super couples.
Tomcat,
right?
Kim Ye,
Ooh.
all would not exist if Bennifer didn't happen.
And they all currently don't.
They don't. They don't.
And none of them do.
By the way, I'm sorry. Two celebrities who do the same thing, especially if the woman is having a bigger moment, cannot survive in a relationship.
Oh, that's just misogyny, though.
Yes.
That's America.
But if you put these people on a pedestal and you know, back then we knew what people made. We heard like the reports. We knew what they were getting offered per film. We knew like if tabloids wanted them on the covers, we knew that the woman was in the lead position. And a man sometimes could not handle that.
So you don't think any straight man can handle a woman that's more successful in the same industry?
In the same industry.
Wow, that's still horrible.
No, I think it's terrible.
Damn.
I think it's terrible.
I'm trying to think of one where that works.
Tell me one. And by the way, let me tell you something.
Men are garbage.
You can't be two actors. You can be a singer and an actor. You could be a host and an actor. You just cannot be two of the same. Tell me where it works.
I was going to say Offset and Cardi B, but that doesn't work either.
Tell me where it works.
Like athletes. Simone Biles and her thick-necked idiot husband. Boom, athletes. Still together.
Athletes.
Okay.
Athletes.
Bam. Kerry Washington and her husband. He's an actor now.
Guess what? Simone Biles' husband knows that he's on the time clock in that NFL, and he knows that she's on the time clock on that balance beam. She ain't hitting that balance beam at 40.
Okay, but they're working. Two athletes. Kerry Washington's husband is an actor.
He's also behind the camera.
True. Also true. Okay, I'm just like, I'm trying to think of ones that work right now.
Come on. You know what else is?
Damn. Colin Jost and Scarlett Johansson.
Hold on. White man Steve.
What about Tom Holland and Zendaya?
That's fresh.
Ooh.
That is fresh. It is working.
Look at the white man over there coming in with some facts. That's rare. That's the first time in history. Let's etch that in the tablet, Jesus.
Right?
A white man helping.
You know what else Bennifer did for the culture? And I don't know if it was very good or not, but I really love this time period in life. I feel like Bennifer, once publicists and agents realized that the celebrity power couple were a thing, we started seeing PR relationships pop up.
But PR relationships go back to like, they're a tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast. Like, they go back to those, I was going to say Faggotron 5000. Bleep that out if you must, but like the Rock Hudsons of it all. Them gay white dudes. Like,
no, they were big in the 50s.
Yeah.
They were big in the 40s.
Barry Diller.
Yes.
Who just came out.
Yes. But I feel like they kind of sort of went away for a minute and we saw celebrities actually fall in love with each other and have kids and do that whole nine yards. But then you started seeing all these new PR relationships where all of a sudden these two actors who like we never saw that would ever date each other all of a sudden did a movie together, and then there were rumors about them swirling around.
Yeah.
So I think the PR relationship kind of sort of came back.
I mean, I think he was always here. This was just megawatt. This was just like him doing the Jenny from the Block video, palm on her booty. And honestly, that was peak Ben. He was hot. And not that he's not hot now, because I love Benjamin Ebenezer Affleck, America's curmudgeon. Love him.
You would do it.
100%. I love that he never smiles at a camera. He likes Dunkin' Donuts.
I'm a girl's girl.
He's from No. I mean,
I'm a girl's girl.
You can never know. I am a J-Lo fan. I'm just saying she's moved on.
Yeah.
She spun the block around it. She spun the literal block that she sang of twice, said no, and now she's living her best life. But I would 100% take Ben down. Like, to be clear, love Jenny. But all's fair in love and war. I'm trying to quote one of her songs right now. I can't think of one. But you know what? Apply it to the situation. I fight her, love her, but we could bare knuckle box for Ben.
You know what? I have to say, I feel like, and shoot me if I'm wrong.
Bang, bang.
Shoot me if I'm wrong right here. I feel like this was also one of the first times that race was a big deal in celebrity relationships.
Bennifer?
Yes.
Robin Givens dated Brad Pitt. What the actual are you talking about?
Yeah, but I feel like the tabloids kind of sort of gave him more shit.
Because she was Latina? Or
yes.
You think so?
I really do, but in the way that people can't say it, like, you know, in the way that, like, your friend's mom can't say, oh my God, please get off my furniture because you're black. In the way that, like...
I'm
from South Louisiana.
I'm from Dallas, never mind.
Yeah.
But I would say, bitch, you. I was a wild child.
At 13.
From 10. My mom was like, you don't let these white people mistreat you. My mom was very much like, it was like a crazy, like, it was like Gossip Girl, but with more racism in Dallas. And my mom was very much like, say it. There's no value in not saying it. I have one story. Okay, so we were at my friend's ranch. And my mom was like notorious. The other white moms were afraid of her from crossing her. And we're riding horses and we come back and my friend's grandma hands me some chocolate covered raisins. And she goes, and Blakely, you want some toast?
What?
And I was like, the way you could see the whites of my eyelids all the way around. And like, everybody was so afraid of my mom that my friend's mom and my friend looked at me and they knew the grandma had up. And they were like, and I was just like, I'm telling.
Oh, I'm telling.
Like, Janice is about to be in your ass.
Janice
Renita Thornton is coming for all of you.
Please tell me Janice came over.
I mean, let's just say that my friend's mother and my friend's mom is still trying to make amends 25 years later. She's like, I need your mom's number. We should be friends. My mom is like, nah, we
beat a grandma.
We good.
It beat a grandma.
I know. And like it wasn't it truly wasn't their fault. That's when like the spirit of her ancestors came out and she forgot that she was talking to a black person.
My best friend growing up was a white man. And
what was his name?
Truly hot. I can't even say his name because I'm going to tell you this whole story and I'm pretty sure he's going to listen to this whole thing. But I remember being in 7th grade and getting to his house for a slumber party and his mom nonchalantly said, hey, do you mind getting out the car waiting for the garage door to close before you get out of the car?
I would have been like, no.
And I was like,
no thanks, Sheila.
What? And I didn't think anything of it. And then, you know, the next day she was like, hey, do you guys mind just playing in the backyard? Like, my mother lives across the street. And I was like, oh, your mother.
Oh, the grandma.
The grandma again.
It beats the grandmas, man.
It beat the grandmas.
Some of y'all be out here having white moms and grandmas.
The grandmas.
Some of y'all be having white grandmas and we hate it.
Oh, it be the grandmas.
Some of y'all's grandmas were in those Ruby Bridges photos trying to stop her.
Right.
And we know.
We know.
And we know. That should be one show where we just dedicate to finding the white children who were stopping the Little Rock Nine. Where are they now? Where are their offspring?
Right?
What banks do they own?
Fun fact, that grandma and I became really good friends.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have probably poisoned her.
You know, and you know what? It's so funny. She explained a lot to me whenever we actually became friends. She had maybe one too many Chablis one day, and she was explaining things to me. I was like a 16-year-old kid. is she really wanted to explain where she was coming from and how did it all happen. And I'm thinking to myself, ma'am, I literally just got my first pubic hair. Like, I can't.
I'd be like, bitch, this is
hear
a
the
Wendy's.
shit.
I was like, you're a bitch. This is a Wendy's. Go home. Just please die already.
You guys, our second topic also this week in 1994. FX Network made its debut. It was the first cable TV network owned by Fox. Today, FX is the only cable channel that is coming for HBO's neck, offering a wide range of rule-bending, boundary-pushing, and high-provocative programming. Just in 2024, FX had 93 nominations going into this year's Emmys, including 25 for Shogun, 23 for The Bear, with the latter breaking the record for the most nominations for a single season of a comedy series. But most importantly, FX gave birth to one Ryan Lewis Murphy.
Oh, yeah, Nip Tuck of it all.
Bitch.
Well, actually, Ryan's first show was Popular on the WB, starring Leslie Bibb and Leslie Grossman. I actually talked to Leslie Bibb about this yesterday, ironically. But Mary Cherry is an iconic teenage figure in my mind.
So you were fucking with Ryan Murphy back then?
Right, yeah, because I think everyone either dies the hero or lives to become the villain. And I think a lot of gay prolific TV producers these days, like what was cool and interesting and edgy in 2000 to 2007 is not now. They're playing that same game and it's 2025.
Yeah.
Like, I want Ryan to like have a black woman be the lead and like, again, not be like a slave switching bodies or have 3 titties or get fucked by a minotaur, which all have happened in his shows. So like, you know, I don't see why Angela Bassett couldn't have led All's Fair, you know? That
right.
But
oh, you're burnt up about that one.
But here we go. But FX, amazing. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, also.
Oh, it's still good.
The longest running live action sitcom in television history.
No, bitch. Come with some damages.
I never watched that.
Shet. Hold. Right here. Right here, right now.
Okay.
You have never turned on Glenn Close's Rose Byrne's love letter to nasty law.
See, I think if TikTok or Instagram, because that came out like freshman, sophomore year of college for me, and they were always just in this lighting saying such vicious things to each other that I was like, I don't know if I can handle whatever this is.
You are the pop culture Glenn Close.
Yeah, but I was a closeted football player in 2006, so like I wasn't dealing with that right then. Like I'd be like, hey, football team, let's watch Glenn Close's Damages. No, like that wasn't an option for me at that point in time, and that was still collective televisions.
By the way, all those football players, because I lived with one, were watching Felicity. Okay,
but were they watching Damages?
It's the same thing, basically.
Felicity and Damages are the same thing.
I love Felicity.
I've never seen Damages, but I damn sure know Felicity was not a lawyer.
I loved Felicity.
Scott Speedman.
Oh, you
Scott
guys,
Foley.
Do you ever watch The American Horror Story?
I give every season now like 3 episodes, and when it truly just doesn't make sense anymore, I kind of let it go.
You know what? I do the same thing. The Americans. Have you ever watched that?
Love that. Carrie Russell, go off.
Archer.
Spies. Love Archer as well.
Love Archer.
Love Archer.
FX had some shit.
Atlanta.
Come
amazing.
on. The Cleveland show.
Baskets was also good.
Come through. I just want to know, for anybody out there, if you know the executive who passed on Nip Tuck, like, who at Cinemax was like, oh, this is not for us? Or who at HBO
Nip Tuck
was like,
wild.
Yeah, but that's why it should have been on HBO.
True.
It was probably written for HBO.
In what world, if Nip Tuck goes to HBO, what world are we living in right now? You know? Like, that's like a sliding doors moment. Like, does HBO Max even happen? Do they go HBO Max to Max back to HBO like they did just now? No, they would have just stayed HBO like a normal person.
They're changing pronouns faster than Demi Lovato.
I love it. I say this is the big thing with the HBO rebrand. I love that people can admit they made a mistake because it was stupid. What the is Max?
Well, this is what happens. This is what happens. An executive comes in, they want to leave their mark, and they want to do something big. So people say, oh my God, that was me that did that. And that executive leaves a year later after they it up. And I say leave in a nice way. And then they go back to the original. If it's not broken, do not fix it.
Because there's a time where we had HBO Go, HBO,
Max.
and then Max. And I was like, I just want to watch the finale of Game of Thrones.
And not for $18.99.
I don't know what's happening right now.
Right?
Like, I have Max, and I think I can watch everything live, but, like, Hacks is a Max show. Like, Hacks is HBO.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit. What
Come
are you talking
through.
about?
Oh, my God. Do you remember Real Sex?
Yes, HBO. Ooh.
Bitch.
I just burped. Ooh, it was wild.
Do you remember Real Sex? That they would show like maybe 1 or 2 flaccid penises like once a week?
It wasn't always like sexy either, which was actually very important because real sex isn't always sexy. It'd be like old white people in Arizona doing like tantric sessions and like I was like, what the is happening? But I think kids need that. And I think that's why we're not sociopaths because we had to see like real bodies sitting there talking.
Yes.
Whereas like nowadays, if what kids see in porn is like, that's not real, guys.
No, and also like we didn't really, I will say for myself, Real Sex was the closest to having conversations about sex as a kid. Like my mom did not talk about the birds and the bees because she knows that I was looking for another bird. And she was very Catholic and was not down for that. So my mother was not talking about the birds and the birds. But I truly believe today that I am alive because I watched Real Sex as a kid, and I also watched Talk Sex with Sue Johansson.
I am not, the second one I'm not familiar with.
Steve?
That's his name?
Yes.
Okay.
White man. Does anyone know what Talk Sex with Sue Johansson is?
No one over here is aware of that.
It was this 60-year-old Canadian lady, maybe
On
70 at the
HBO?
time. No, she was on, this is the gaotic of it all. This is off the rails. On like, I want to say PB, like what? Not
PBS?
She was on at like 10:30. She would take callers.
Is this a radio show?
No, it was a TV show. She would take callers, and it was real people asking her real things about sex. If you guys don't know who she is a goddamn legend. She just died last year, and honestly, I am alive because of her today.
Okay.
Because I would not know about anything. She taught me how to put on condoms. She taught us everything. She was everything.
Testify.
God, I wish you would have known. You have to Google this.
Completely unfamiliar.
Did your parents talk to you about?
My mom, so I was like 7 or 8 during like the true AIDS crisis in the 90s maybe, and I saw 2 people kiss on Step by Step and I was like, ooh, they're gonna get AIDS. And she's like, that's not how you get AIDS. And then she told me exactly what sex was. And I was like, actually, I was 6. Because I was in kindergarten.
Oh, great.
So then I told everybody else in kindergarten exactly what sex was. So that kind of scarred me because like, I don't want to put my penis in anything. Like, you're 6. I didn't want to do that. So I've known exactly the logistics of it since I was in kindergarten.
That's amazing. Wow. That is pretty. Pretty.
Which kind of describes my upbringing. It was a lot of brutal truth. And I was like, okay, cool. And I just absorbed it.
We never talked about shit.
I don't think we had to talk about not getting girls pregnant, but I was like, you don't have to worry about that. Calm down.
You're like,
calm down.
I will not be on Maury.
Shoo.
Yeah, I will not be one of the 6 people Lakeisha brought on Maury.
That was funny when somebody was like, oh, she's pregnant. My mom was like, couldn't be me. Couldn't be my son. I was like, Jan, I was asleep. Call me Bennett because I was not in it. Like, that's not a thing.
Can you believe that like our parents, like their biggest nightmares were us coming home with a baby?
I mean, I think until I was like 13 maybe, but once I was like, I must have the new Fiona Apple album, I think they knew that wasn't going to be a thing.
Did they make you come out to them?
No. I just did it. And then I was actually like kind of like messed up at a pride party in New York. And I like called them and my dad was like, okay, cool. I'm playing dominoes. I was like, that's it? He was like, yeah, I love you. I was like, okay. And then I called my mom and she was like, I'm cool. Why wouldn't you come out to me earlier? Like, I'm a cool mom. I'm like, bitch, this isn't about you. So it was like a very easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl situation. I know I'm very lucky. But I was like, I thought my dad like misheard me. He's like, no, whatever. All right. It was like I told him like I prefer like baked chicken. Which I hope is how it is for all. I think that's how it should be for all queer people. But yeah, he was like, all right. I heard you.
Yeah, you want something else?
I'm playing. I got a good hand here. I'm like, okay, bye.
You Gucci.
Love you.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think I heard my mom's life alert bracelet go off whenever I told her. Like I could hear the ambulance coming to pick her up.
Oh no.
But she was really chill.
Okay.
She just went silent for like, I would say a good 90 seconds, which
her soul left her body and came
her
back.
soul left her booty. I think it went out the back.
She went and talked to Christ, and he was like, "Bitch, get back down there."
Yeah, I think it went out the back.
Yeah.
I think it just went straight out of the back. And she was like, okay. But if I showed you a photo of myself at the age of 6, you would be like, lady, you either need to see lens crafters or a good therapist, because this kid right here, this little gay right here,
He's hearing queer. Get used to
you
it.
get used to it.
know?
Because this came out with a bow on, okay?
And she did.
And she did. No, she did. She did. And then one time I went home with, my family was like the U.S. Army, don't ask, don't tell.
Mm-hmm.
But they were cool. But they didn't want to talk about it. But like,
Okay.
you know, if it came up, it came up.
Yeah.
And I had a cousin who was definitely struggling. And I brought a guy home just for the fuck of it to show him that it is easy and it's chill. And this guy was not my man at the time, or even my man. I just was like, come with me. I need to do this favor for my cousin.
Yeah.
And it kind of opened up the
group chat.
It opened up the group chat.
That's good.
Like people could like.
Sometimes I am the fan. My family hates it in some capacities, but they're like, how I am on the internet is very much how I am in conversation. So I'm like, we're gonna talk about it, and now we've said it. And now we've said it. It was like, denial is a river in Egypt. He's gay. Like that. They're like, why must you do this?
Why?
Why are you like this? They're always saying that. Why are you like this? Or my dad, don't you ever shut the up? I'm like, it's been 39 years. That's a stupid question at this point. And he was like, I was like, obviously I don't. So like, if it was going to happen, it would have happened, Steve.
My mom used to say, you better shut your mouth right now. Are you going to get this belt?
That doesn't work at 40, though.
You know what? It does work. Because you know
Not
what? I
on
told
me.
Steve to shut his mouth.
Not on me.
Boy, I love it.
I'm just like, no, thank you. I go to therapy. Like, are you done?
Oh my
parents are
God.
like, what is this? We hate that we sent you to private school with this white therapy bullshit. I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, this conversation is not conducive to me emotionally, so I don't really care what you have to say. They're like, excuse me.
Ooh, I bet all of our parents hate that we go to therapy.
Oh, I think my parents like it for me, but then I keep encouraging them to go, and they are not into that.
Yeah. I like my therapist because she tells me half of her shit first.
Oh no.
She's like, oh, let me go. And I sit there for 30 minutes and I'm like, bitch, am I paying you or are you paying me?
Exactly. That's like therapists and trainers. I don't give a about your life. That's not what we're here for. I am physically and emotionally the star of this show. So like, shut the up and like ask me about myself. But like when like trainers start to tell me about, that your name is Jake and you're here to have me do push-ups. I don't want to know anything about you.
Ooh, we're so opposite. Because I'm like, I came for the Jews.
No.
Like, I'm basically, I don't need therapy right now. Honestly, I'm just there because I feel like Susan needs me.
And you're
the shit's
paying
getting-
a white
and the
woman. Is she
shit
a white
is
woman?
getting- she
Susan's
is a white
woman.
lady.
Exactly. When you said Susan.
No.
My name is not Susan. Remember
Susan
that?
needs me right now.
So then have her pay you.
Shit, I might start.
Say, Susan, this is reparations.
No, but oof. I'm sorry, Susan. I'm putting your business out there.
You just lost your therapist for real. Like, for sake, you really just lost your therapist.
She would never.
Yes, she would.
No, I gave her a shout out on the Today Show. She loves me.
What's your last name?
I can't tell you. Also, also this week in 1992, presidential candidate Bill Clinton appeared on the Arsenio Hall show, and he played that saxophone. It used to be that serious presidential candidates appeared only on equally serious news programs, but in the spring of 1992, Democratic contender Bill Clinton needed something special. He needed to talk to the black people to set him apart from his opponents, sitting President George W. Bush and George H.W. Bush, and independent candidate Ross Perot. So the 45-year-old Arkansas governor said, hold my Chardonnay, Hillary, and booked a groundbreaking appearance on the Arsenio Hall show.
Wait, time out. Did he really say, hold my Chardonnay, Hillary?
I added that in, but I'm going to pretend.
Okay. I wouldn't be beyond him. So.
By the way, and you know he loves a crisp.
I was a crisp white.
A crisp white.
A crunchy-haired white woman.
Ooh, you know.
No, literally, they've sued him. Several crunchy-haired white ladies have sued his ass. So,
do you remember this moment?
I do. Also, circle around the Ross Perot's grandchildren went to my prep school.
So you're
when-
rich.
No, I've been around rich people my entire life. I was smart. I got a scholarship because I can read good. But so I remember because they had bodyguards in like second and third grade because he was running for president while this was all happening.
Wow.
So I remember like I like directly tie Bill Clinton kind of with like them being stressed because their grandpa was running, because he used to come to like grandparents' day. But then we had a bodyguard named Dwayne who used to come to school, and then I think I might be remembering this wrong because I was 8, but like a balloon popped in the bathroom and he thought somebody was trying to like kill one of the kids, so he like kicked the door down.
Oh,
and Dwayne was
no.
gone forever.
Oh, Dwayne.
He used to play 5,000. Remember 5,000?
Yes.
Dwayne used to play 5,000 with us at recess.
No, Dwayne was too lax. Dwayne was having too much fun.
Dwayne was also, now that I think about it, fine as
Where's Dwayne now?
I have no idea.
You know what? We're going to find Dwayne. And we're going to get him on the
Dwayne,
show.
if you were a bodyguard to 3 small white children between the years of 1992 and 1998 in Dallas, Texas, like, I guess send us an email.
Yeah, send us an email, Dwayne.
Send us gaychaos@hotmail.com.
By the way, were you the only black kid in your school?
Third grade, there were 2.5 of us.
Yeah. I think I graduated with like 6 of them.
But 2.5 out of 36.
2.5 out of 36.
There were 36 in third grade. I graduated with 81 people, all boys.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, we can get into that later.
No. Was it like Spider Games? Remember that show on MTV?
No,
Was
that?
Was it like, do you remember Spider Games? Was it like, like where the boys got like all crazy in the dorms?
No, it was like Gossip Girl, but more racist, literally.
But I mean, you were getting it in.
No.
You weren't getting it in like grade school?
No. Define getting it in, because I want to define in gruesome detail what that means. Because I was not. I graduated high school a virgin in every sense.
Wait, I graduated high school a virgin too,
Yeah.
but like people experimented at 13, 14.
I mean, there was a little bit of like group masturbation in 8th grade with people I will not name that we haven't spoken of before or since till this moment.
We are talking offline.
But like, besides that,
they're
all married with kids now.
I
Hey, guys.
just imagine that going to an all-boys school, shit got real.
We used to like, our grade was really bad, and I feel like I channeled all of being like a little black kid and a little closeted gay kid into just being a terror.
Yeah.
So like I used to like organize fights between the 5th and 6th grade. Like the entire 5th and 6th grade, like what's it called? Lord of the Flies style. So we would meet
West
at
Side
lunch.
Story.
Meet at lunch and just beat the shit out of each other.
No.
And then one day, Mr. Baird, the computer science teacher, came out and he saw all of us like fighting. He's like, "Everybody stop." And everybody just sprinted. And then one of the kids had glasses. He's like, "My glasses." It was literally like Lord of the Flies. His glasses just got trampled. Like, our class was the reason the 5th and 6th grade don't have gym together anymore.
Wow.
Like, we would just basically burn something to the ground with each grade. Like, a teacher would retire after us every year.
God, this is phenomenal.
It was fun. I had a great time.
You know, I didn't have a good time until I went to an all-black school in my neighborhood, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, where it was like Dangerous Minds, and I ran for my life every day. And
wait, for real?
Yeah, it was like Dangerous Minds. It was literally, I thought Michelle Pfeiffer was at my school every day.
Was she?
She should have been.
Was there a white version of her? Like, who was your Michelle Pfeiffer?
Miss Clemens.
Okay.
She was my person who would let me go and sit in her classroom during lunch and eat my lunch. Like, I was deathly afraid.
Were you bullied?
Yes.
Oh, I was the bully.
Oh, no. I was bullied.
I was kicking over roller backpacks.
No.
Stealing lunches.
Yeah, you were that.
Huh?
You were that.
Huh? But there was no like life or death stakes there. It was just like for funsies.
Oh, no. This was life or death. But just so happened, my best friend, her name was Chastity Maven. She, for some odd reason,
Time out.
she was like 6'2".
Was that name real?
Yeah,
Chastity Maven?
Yeah, Chastity
That's
Maven.
Maven. I think you said Maven.
Chastity Maven.
That's biblical.
She used to people up.
I'm glad. I was waiting for the up. I was like,
Yo,
okay.
she used to people up. She was my Debo.
I love that.
Yeah, I owe her a lot. Like, she got me home every so often. And when I say every so often, I mean every other day. But
Did you walk to school?
yeah, we all did. It was a neighborhood school.
Oh.
I lived in an all-black neighborhood. It was a neighborhood
I'm coming
school.
off real dumb right now.
Yeah, I walked to school like every morning and walked home. And I even like convinced my teachers to let me out a little bit early so I can get home because it was just that bad.
That's traumatic.
Yeah.
You do need Susan.
I do need Susan. But then when I went to 7th grade, I went to an all-white school.
Were they fighting?
No, they weren't fighting.
Did they have bells and stuff?
They had bells. Like shit was like real.
I've
like,
never experienced a school bell in my life.
What did you guys have?
The teachers just let us out when they wanted to.
No, there was like school bells and
I've
shit.
literally never used a locker for books, and I've never experienced a school bell. Every time I see a movie, it's like, I'm like, why are they doing that? And my friends were like, what the is wrong with you? I was
You're
like,
really rich.
no, I just went to private schools. I did. My parents did not pay for me to go to that school.
You are
I
rich.
just went to I'm cultured.
Blakely
I'm
Thornton.
doing well. I'm doing well. We do not want to put to anybody out there. I had a nice, comfortable upbringing. I am currently poor, so I want money. Don't reach out to me asking for favors or $1. Okay, I am underpaid.
By the way, I don't have to say that because I work in cable and everybody knows that I'm broke as
Broke.
Broke,
Sponsor
honey.
us, Dunkin' Donuts.
Sponsor us, Mercedes.
Or
it's
you're
so
racist.
crazy. I will say though,
Yes.
the 4 years I got at my high school, I learned how to code switch.
Yeah.
I was a master's degree in code switching was earned by the time I was a junior in high school. I also was like the only black person to work at a sushi restaurant in South Louisiana.
Was it the only sushi restaurant in South Louisiana?
It was the only, and it was the hottest one.
That's what Harry Styles' song is about, y'all.
It was the hottest one. It was the hottest one.
Music for a Sushi Restaurant is actually based on a Juvenile song that Harry Styles heard in South Louisiana. We're starting.
Boom. Probably at my restaurant.
That's a rumor we're starting right now.
Probably at my restaurant.
Which circle of trust? Ross Perot's granddaughter wrote a book about loving Harry Styles, healing from trauma. It's called Styles of Joy, and it's actually very, very good.
I'm going to read it.
You should.
I'm going to read it. This is hilarious. Before I get off this Bill Clinton thing, Mandy Grunwald, the white lady in charge, said the convention wasn't until July, so we have 5 or 6 weeks and very little money. What we realized is that people needed to know more about Bill Clinton, so I had written a memo saying we ought to do these kinds of softer talk shows. In terms of picking one, Arsenio was serious with guests and oftentimes talked a little policy. No, bitch, you knew black people would love his ass.
Just say we wanted the black vote.
Yes.
Just say we came out there and had his ass shimmy and shake.
We tap dance all the time.
You know? Just say it.
I love Bill Clinton.
Do you?
Yes.
Have you looked at him currently?
Yes, I love him.
White people, like, they hit this age and they look like zombies.
Stop you. Don't you say it. Steve is going to get upset.
Steve doesn't know what Bill Clinton looks like.
Steve, Google what Bill Clinton looks like. You guys, also this week, Baz Luhrmann's Moulin Rouge debuted, described as an Australian-American jukebox musical romantic comedy film. Moulin Rouge debuted in American theaters on this day in 2001. It starred Ewan McGregor, Nicole Kidman. It was her first singing role. It was set in Paris in 1899. She died of tuberculosis. It was a whole thing.
I've never seen it. I'm just one of those things. I call it a Caucasian cultural blind spot where you're so aware of it.
Stop.
I don't need to see Moulin Rouge.
Stop.
I understand it. I love to dance. I get it.
You didn't see Moulin Rouge?
No.
I think we have to cut. We have Stacey. What? You've never seen Nicole Kidman in one of the greatest roles of her life?
She died of tuberculosis. I get it. She died of tuberculosis. They sang Nirvana.
Yeah, but there was like a rich daddy. There was a poor guy. There was like it was a gay in there.
That's every story ever told.
You guys.
It's a musical. It's a musical written by white people. It's basically the same plot with just different costumes. Okay, it's cabaret, it's Chicago, it's the same bullshit. A black, a gay, a song, a murder, a hooker. The end.
Have you seen Chicago?
No.
What?
But I know he had it coming. I've heard the songs.
You've never seen Chicago?
I am not a theater gay. I told you, the only reason I saw Wicked was because I am friends with Cynthia Erivo. I had not heard Defying Gravity until I walked into the screening of that film. If you had asked me to sing Defying Gravity before hearing Cynthia Erivo sing it, I would have sang something similar to Sarah Bareilles' I'm Not Gonna Write You. That's what it was in my head for the last 20 years. I'd be like, Defying Gravity. I thought it was like a piano song.
You don't know the magic of Kristen Chenoweth?
I don't care.
You guys.
I don't care.
You guys. You guys.
I don't care. I know that Kristen Chenoweth is a legend and an icon, and she is the moment, and I love hearing her speak.
Adina Menzel?
Okay.
Adele Dazeem?
That's how I know her. Adele Dazeem and Tay Diggs' ex-wife.
You didn't know her from...
No, I didn't.
You guys...
Look, the first play I've seen, I saw Vanya last week before when I was doing work in New York.
What?
I saw Andrew Scott and Vanya is the first play I have physically seen in New York City.
Hold on. I'm like, you know that brown dog on Instagram that is like this all the time?
With the math.
I'm like, what is going
I'm
on
not
here?
A theater gay.
Shut the up. You don't have to be a theater gay, but there's things that you have to see in order to get that card. How do you carry your gay card?
In my crotch. I'm good at sex.
You guys.
I don't have to know musicals. I'm good at sex.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna read your Yelp review. Let me pull up that Yelp review.
Pull it up.
Yeah.
Pull it up.
Actually, I have
any of you.
I have Adam on the line. He's calling in from last night.
I got a 5-star review, and he knows it. And he knows it.
By the way, don't you love like that? You know that you're good.
I know. I'm 100% aware.
But also like, are there ever times where like you leave and you're like, I didn't give my best performance?
100%. Yeah, that's life.
You know,
sex is like very interesting. You can't. Sex is like a Barry's class. You're not going to PR every time. You can't do that.
Damn, you can't?
No, you cannot. You're going to have an off day, but also like, I know I have less off days than the average bear, pun intended.
Ooh, come through.
You know?
That he learned, that he knows. Sex is crazy. We'll talk about sex one day.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about
all the good things.
All right, since he doesn't know the movie, let's see if he knows this.
No, I know enough.
That movie also spawned the reboot of Patti LaBelle's classic Lady Marmalade with Pink, Christina, Lil Kim, and Maya. It spent 5 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, selling over 5 million copies. That's before Spotify. That's during Spotify, before Apple Music and Napster days. And they won a Grammy in 2002.
And they hated each other, and I love that.
Hated each other.
Which goes back to last week. I miss when celebrities openly hated each other. They could barely, Christina Aguilera and Pink could barely contain seething, and they both talked about it since. They're like, we're mothers now. But did I try to that bitch in the club? 100.
Hated each other.
She swung on me. I love Christina Aguilera swung on Pink. Bitch, what are you doing?
Christina Aguilera swung on Pink because she said she was sitting in her seat. That's what I love.
Also, in what world does a 2001 era? Have you seen Pink do that aerial shit?
Yeah.
She's basically an Olympic gymnast. She's basically Simone Biles that can sing. I wouldn't fight Pink.
Also, you know Alicia Moore came from BET.
Alicia Moore was going to that bitch up. Alicia Moore would have beat the brakes off Christina Aguilera, but it makes me like Christina more. Because to err is to learn.
And by the way, I wish to be that hungry one day where I think I can take down Christina Aguilera. I can take down Pink. Because Christina Aguilera was so skinny back then, you know she hadn't eaten in 2 weeks, and she was so delirious from not having shit that she swung.
Let's be real.
On the blackest, whitest bitch ever.
I'm sure Christina would admit she was up. Like, bitch, you had to be a crazy combination of drunk and high to think you're gonna swing on this bitch in a club. To be in the same club.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the clubs that Pink frequented were the same as Christina Aguilera's unless she was dating a white rapper of some sort. I don't know. But that was a confident swing, and that confidence was based on, I would guess, narcotics. Allegedly.
You know what?
Christina, come tell me if I'm not. But I mean, okay, we've all done drugs in our 20s.
What's up? We'll have her on here.
You know?
I think the one thing that we have to remember was there was 4 women in there who were all divas, who had all been invited to VH1 to belt out a song or two at some point in their careers. And they put them together. Anytime you get 4 people at the top of their game in one room, this is why Housewives works so well.
True.
Is because you have 4 or 5 personalities where everyone thinks they're the lead singer, and then shit blows up. We've watched too much behind the music to not know what happened.
I mean, there's too much attitude.
Too much attitude. I also love that, like, back in the cut, the pop girlies were supposed to act a certain way. And you had 2 of the biggest pop stars in the world being like, no, that, I'm going to swing on this bitch.
Yeah,
like,
I don't like her.
I don't like her. You know, like, her. She's sitting in my goddamn chair.
But also at a club, girl, like, not an award show. Like, the seating is like, in the club, we all fam. So I don't know what made her go against that cardinal rule. Christina didn't like it. I don't know. But the song pops today.
Pops today.
It's probably going to get remade in like 3 months.
Do you remember who would you have in it?
Remake it now?
Yeah. Let's go there. Let's go there.
Let's give it.
I'm gonna give you put a 30-second timer on.
I'll give it a Tate McRae.
Okay.
For the dancing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it Flo Milli in the Lil' Kim spot.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it a young R&B singer these days. Tate McRae, Flo Milli.
Okay.
Maybe like a Madison Beer because she's young. And then like, who's like a belter now? Who can really sing anymore? I'm lost on the floor. So go ahead.
Here's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, bitch. I need y'all to vote online.
Also, you can't do like Ariana and them because they're old now.
No.
If you're over 30, you can't. Okay.
By the way, they cost too much.
Also, 30's not old.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ariana.
I'm going to do Dua Lipa.
Ooh, okay. I missed on that one.
I'm going to do Dua Lipa.
Okay.
I'm going to do Sabrina Carpenter.
Wow, you've already murdered me.
Because that bitch can sing.
You win.
I'm going to do Money Long.
That's how you say her name?
Money Long. What do you thought?
I was saying it Mooney.
Stop podcast, everybody.
Nobody ever said it out loud.
No, it's Money Long.
It's Muni. I did it phonetically.
And for my rapper, I'm going to go Doechii.
Okay, that's a great 4.
And by the way,
much better than what I did.
Yeah, much better. I don't know what fuckery, man. What was that?
I don't know. I need my coffee.
What was that?
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I really just
Mooney Long.
It makes sense when you read it.
It does not.
Twin, where have you been? Okay, nobody ever told me out loud.
Oh my God.
Nobody told me what her name was. I'm so sorry to Money Long. I'm not actually sorry, but like, I mean, now I stand corrected.
Bitch.
Money Long. That makes so much sense.
Let me ask you a question.
That's not her given name though, right? She chose to spell it like that and then pronounce it money. Then you know what? I'm not sorry. I take it back.
I don't think her mother named her Mooney.
Girl, we don't know.
You know what that is? That's kind of a cute name, by the way.
Right? Muni hits. Mooney.
You know what it reminds me of? Remember Kimora Lee Simmons had those kids?
Who are adults now?
But back then they had those weird names like Ming Lee and Aoki Lee.
That's not weird. It's Asian, babe.
No, but they were like, they were like in Black culture. It was like weird at the time.
They are half Asian. They're like Asian. They're children of Asian descent.
I love her.
Those girls are great. One of them was
dating like a 90-year-old.
I think Ming went to Harvard.
Ming went to Harvard and came out and dated a 90-year-old. I think that was Aoki, actually.
No, I think they got her out of it. They
Which
went to Bahamas and they were like, bitch, not today.
No, she broke up.
Not today, not tomorrow, not the next day.
She saw that hotel.
They said, once you pop, you can stop. They said, this is a Pringles situation. We're going to get this bitch out of here.
They cut her off while she was in customs. And she was like, actually, I think I'm going to go home now, Mr. Edward.
On the next flight home.
They flew her commercial and she said, not today. I have to leave you.
Not today, Satan.
I have to leave you.
You know?
Damn, they were cute.
They're gorgeous. They're both gorgeous now.
But she's gorgeous. Like, and the mom was that bitch.
Yeah. Remember Kimora in the Life in the Fast Lane?
Yes.
That was the perfect level of like abusing your staff for television purposes.
Yes.
Like Diddy went too far, but Kimora was always just like, what the is going on right now?
Right.
Like, why is it like this?
Angela.
I want it done. Or like, who was her assistant? Benny or BJ?
BJ Coleman.
Oh shit, baby, BJ. We need to have BJ on the podcast.
By the way, BJ texted me this morning. He still got PTSD from that shit.
He must.
But I wanted to work for her.
Oh, no.
I did.
That's where you and I did.
I did. I wanted to work for her.
I have a Kimora energy where me and that bitch would have fought.
No.
I'd be like, what did you say to me?
I'd be like Stanley Tucci in The Devil Wears Prada. I would have lived.
This is why I couldn't survive
life.
in corporate America. Because like you talk to me sideways one good time, it's on and bopping.
I could do it. I could do it.
I can't.
Because you know what?
One of us will die in the street.
Because you know what? Every time that you see a bad bitch, 90% of the time she is a bad bitch.
Yeah.
And that other 10, she's like crying in her soup because somebody ignored her. Like I live for those 10%. Like I want to pick you up.
See, I would make the 10% 20 because of what I would say. Because like I've seen you without your cut crease whore. Like I'll
I'll cut you.
Yeah, like what are we doing?
Who'd you want to work for back in the day?
No one.
You didn't want to work for anyone?
I don't have a service person's mentality.
No, like who was the person like you didn't want to like, okay, I'm going to emulate this person's career and I'm going to like, I'm going to try to get a job with them and I'm going to try to do that. That's what I wanted to work for.
I feel like I had a role model. Did I just raise myself? I don't know. No.
I think you raised yourself.
No, I had people I looked up to. I had people whose career chart I'd want to emulate and who I'd want to go into that field to learn something.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, let me get up under this person and like learn from that and like work for them, no. Like no.
Mine was Don Draper.
Like wait, he's imaginary.
I know, but I loved his job.
Also an alcoholic.
I loved it. I wanted to drink at work.
I can't.
I wanted to get lit at work.
No.
And be in the office politics.
Who would I want to work for?
You didn't watch like any of those shows and be like, damn, this would be amazing. Like I used to watch Behind the Music or Making the Video. Remember Making the Video?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I used to want to be like an art director or like be in those sets.
You know
like,
who? You know who I would have wanted to work for, and I got to meet him, Edward Enninful. I saw him in the September issue having a Jamba Juice and being an associate editor. I would have wanted to work for him.
Damn.
So that was a full circle moment meeting him in New York. But like, yeah, I think fashion.
Yeah.
Like an Andre Leon Talley, I would have worked for him because he had standards. He wasn't abusive, but he was like he had standards. Like if you up, he would tell you up, but he wasn't like throwing hot coffee in your face.
But you know what? He was one of those people where like if he stayed up till midnight at a hotel one night, the night before a shoot, you had to stay up.
That works though. If it's for the work, I'll do that.
It wasn't for the work. He just wanted to talk.
Oh, Andre Leon Talley is one of the most educated and eloquent people in all of pop culture that ever existed.
Iconic.
The Chiffon Trenches. My friend has the rights, hey Lane, to his book to make it a series. And I'm like, bitch, if I'm not involved in that series somehow, I will push you off a cliff.
One of my favorite
Not
books
that I'm threatening
ever.
to kill you. I love you. But like, I'll kill you.
One of my favorite books ever.
The tea he spilled on all these people. And just like Andre Leon Talley walks so we could run.
All day.
He walks so I could run. Because like, I got to meet Anna and ask, like, who did you exploit today? You know, just like, because of Andre. Like, the spirit of Andre compelled me.
Who did you exploit
today?
Who was that person?
You know?
Who was that person?
I just think that's somebody I would have wanted to work for. I wish I could have, that's somebody I wish I could have met when he was alive.
So, crazy story. When I was meeting with Kyle to become her assistant, right before she was starting Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which I didn't know she was starting. She just said, oh, I'm going to be on a reality show. I had no idea. I had 3 interviews at InStyle magazine because I thought, oh, maybe this could be a good route to get into like, art directing. This would be great. Had 3 really good interviews at InStyle magazine. And I also had an interview with this big actress.
Name them.
When I showed up to her house for the second interview, because I met with her agent on the first one, when I walked in the door, she was in her bathroom and she was topless.
Okay.
And she was putting on creams and looking at herself in the mirror, and I could tell she was trying to throw me off.
Okay.
But I'm like, bitch, I grew up in a house with 3 girls. Like, I
also,
saw a titty.
I've seen a titty.
Yeah,
mean nothing to me.
Nothing. And we had an 1.5 hour long conversation.
With her topless?
With her topless.
What does her first name start with?
I can't even tell you because you're going to guess
Just
it.
Just bleep it and then say it.
You're going to guess it.
Bleep it and then say it. Say it.
No.
Bleep it.
I can't say it.
Why not?
Because these white people will know. And I still see her all the time.
Was she at Kevin Huvane's?
No. She was not at Kevin Huvane's. And she doesn't know me from that. She
doesn't know you from the topless 1.5 conversation you had together?
No, I think she has blocked. I think she was on some shit when I went there.
What kind of cream was she using?
La Mer.
Okay.
And it was great.
I can narrow it down. Was she
on
white?
The nipples. She was white.
What year was this?
This was 2009.
Clocked it. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
We're good.
You guys. And on that note, this was the Yestergays.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us this week. I am your host, Justin Sylvester.
I am your host, Blakely Thornton.
Do not forget to like, repost, follow, subscribe, do all the good things.
Email Audi because we need a German luxury car to sponsor this.
We really do.
The price of gas is
Tell
too damn
Dunkin'
high.
Donuts we need some coffees.
Right? Or some cool tea refreshers.
Yeah, shit.
You know?
I'll even do Clear Blue Easy.
Oh, pregnant people.
I will do it. I will pee on a stick.
I'm unfamiliar with that life.
I will pee on a goddamn stick. If
We
you wanna
could
sponsor
do it and
this.
just be like, it doesn't work for men.
It doesn't work. Can you imagine? Oh my God. That's happened to a friend of mine.
A clear what?
She
Her
was
husband
joking.
peed on it?
No, she was joking about being pregnant, took a pregnancy test, and ended up being pregnant.
Was she married?
She was married.
That's sad.
But she had already had 4 kids and she didn't want another one.
That's even
You guys,
sadder.
we are going to leave on that note.
What a bleak note.
This has been the Yestergays. Keep your legs close to your married men, okay? You don't want 5 kids.
in this economy.
Not in this economy.
Goodbye, guys.
Oh, girl. Ooh, you just said this economy. Ugh.